PS Too Many Games.
Hello guys, welcome to another episode of PS Too Many Games. Winter is starting to set in. It is freezing as hell outside, hence we're suiting up. I'm joking, I've literally just come home from doing some food shopping, so I'm just keeping the warmth, if you know what I mean. That's why I'm wearing my jacket. So we're going to go with it. Anyway, this episode, it's been a while since I've done one of these. Price increase / decrease episode from CEX. To tell you the truth, this happened about a month ago, but due to the games I bought, the expensive games, I wanted to leave it until you've all seen them before I obviously go through them one by one. So anyway, the price fluctuation hasn't been horrific this time. Sometimes a lot would go up and like some go down. It's been like mild increase / decreases. Obviously the top three being Ruin of Rose.
Am I saying that correctly?
By the way, for those of you who haven't noticed, yes, sometimes I do call Rule of Rose Rose of Ruin. I have no idea why I do it. I legit, it just gets stuck in your head, and literally for the months I've been like saying it wrongly sometimes. Obviously, Rule of Rose. Rule of Rose being the big daddy these days, 570 quid still. At CEX, obviously, you probably can get it online on eBay for like 450 if you're lucky. And obviously, Quan, I can't pronounce it, I think it's Quan, about 500. And obviously, Report from Michigan, still 500. They're the three big hitters. And obviously, my goal probably next year is to get at least one of those three big hitters. That's my goal. Will it happen? Maybe. We don't know. We'll see what happens. But obviously, there's a lot of games that are over £100. There's a lot of expensive games. Considering we're over 1,300, we're doing roughly. We're well over halfway. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Actually, bear me a second.
1 minute later.
So anyway, you might have noticed, by the way, there is no blackboard behind me. I once again broke the budget. I bought a second blackboard, so one just for the platinums, one for the actual normal version cell. So updated count 1363 we're currently sitting at. So well, we're very close to get to that 1400 mark. The official number, official means not correct, is roughly 2240. That's not correct. There's actually a little more of them. That doesn't take into account the many different versions of club games. For instance, as you know, like all these club games, there's about 20 of them, so it doesn't count those. There's also there's also like different versions, like collector's editions. Doesn't include them. So it's roughly more 2400 if you want to be fully pedantic. We will get more. We will get them more. It's going to take a few years to get them all. So yeah, also another side note, when I get close, and by the way, when I get to like less than 300, 200, and when it gets to the point where I'm struggling to find any games on a weekly basis, I might start going for a different console just to keep me going kind of thing. I've already decided that, by the way. No one knows this yet, and you won't find out until that happens, but I already know what console I'm going to collect for secondly. And all I can say is, it's not a Sony console. We'll go with that one. But that's not for a long time. We're talking like probably 2 years before I even touch that. So anyway, back to the main event of this episode. CEX price increases / decreases.
A few minutes later.
And we're back. Once again, the record value. For those of you just seen this for the first time, for some reason I found this rack in a charity shop. It was a £5, and that was before I built the much better framework with my brother. So it's like 40 games racked for a £5. I'll buy it. And since then I was like, let's put the expensive games in the rack and just see how much it holds, like monthly. And that's when we started doing these monthly reviews. Hilariously, my two most popular videos by views are CEX price increases / decreases. So apparently people are quite intrigued by this. So and that's why I do them once a month these days. Well, once they do the price increases, it happens whenever CEX wants to do it. Yeah. Also, I've got to do a chart one day. There is a well-known chart of someone actually keeps track of CEX price increases, decreases across the year. I think PS2 is like something like 12%. It's something ridiculous. Like over the last year, it has increased noticeably. And let's get to it. Actually, it's on the last episode. The game that is now most expensive I own. I thought I was about to knock it over. Dragon Blaze. So 140 quid to Scotch at CEX. This is one of those games where it's never going to actually go up massively or down massively. It's going to be around that figure for some time. Maybe 150, maybe 130. Depends who's buying it. As you can imagine, I'm very happy to have this. Still ecstatic that I got it, because it's one of those games that is so rare to find. In my last 8 months of hunting at CEX, I've never found a copy of it yet, so that was always nice to have. Second one, Echo Nightfall, obviously bought from the chef, if you will, thanks again. This has actually come down. This was 150 and now it's 135, so that's actually quite a sizable drop. £15 for any game is a sizable drop. Still worth 135 quid though, so it's still hella expensive. But generally speaking, apparently it's not as popular as has been. They're not selling it, so it hit the zenith of prices. So this is what CX actually does. They actually take no, obviously, and then they obviously drop it or increase it due to popularity. So apparently Echo Night Beyond not as popular as it used to be, but I still need it. So still very much happy to have it. Obviously, there's certain games I haven't seen yet. For instance, the really obscure Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys, which I think is like 130 quid. You haven't seen a copy of that yet. Postman Pat, hilariously, Postman Pat. One of my viewers does have a copy of that, and I've really got to get in touch with him, but I've never seen a copy of that in like 8 months. Who would have thought a children's game worth like 20 quid would be so hard to find? It really is. People don't understand Point Blank, and I'm sorry, I'm just looking down at that game at the moment. Next game. People don't understand Point Blank that some of the rich, obscure children's games, like the stuff no one keeps, is so much harder to find, and they're not worth much at all, like 10 or 20 quid. But like Postman Pat, it's impossible to find. It's one of those games. A game that wasn't impossible to find, Kingsfield 4. Literally had this for months now. Still about 115 quid. Bought it for 90 quid about 6 months ago, so it was a good deal. As I think, remember from Software, the precursor to modern day, I think Demon Souls, that kind of thing. To tell you the truth, I'm a bit out of touch with modern day games, because I concentrate on this, so I rarely buy modern day games. I've got a game on laptop, so if it's on Steam, I'll buy it. If it isn't, I'm probably not going to buy it. At the end of this, I'm going to do by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to do a list of my top 10 most wanted games now. You'll see at the end, but obviously we're going to go through these one by one quickly. Slight note, Persona 3 FES version, gone through the roof again. That's now a £100 game. At one point that's like an £80 game. It's fluctuated like a motherfucker. And I'm going to leave that swear word in for this one. So I should have bought that a long time ago, to be honest. It's one of my mistakes. I've made quite a few mistakes doing this. Obviously, Baroque, the other game I bought from Retro Chef, £110 game. That's actually gone up in price. That's gone up by a tenner. So apparently it's popular. I haven't played this yet, but I'll be perfectly honest. I've been told mixed reviews about this. Some people like it. Some people think it's a bit meh, like average. When you buy like a £110 game, you want to be told it's a good game, not that it's average and meh.
Hi, Rick Mail here. I don't know if you're like me, immensely rich, talented, handsome. Isn't it a bore? Well, I found the answer. Zelda Link's Awakening from Nintendo. You play a medieval elf named Link.
You travel through many worlds, meeting endless characters on your eternal adventures.
So hey, next time you're Rick Mail, why not try Zelda Link's Awakening? I think you'll like it. Ciao.
Zelda, involving an inexhaustible Nintendo.
There was a bit of a cut there because I actually thought I wasn't recording properly. I've lost 2 videos in the last 8 months to recording a whole video, but forgetting to put the volume on. So it's just me going, and I see 40 minutes of my life gone. Thank God I was. So we'll just cut back in there. I'm sorry. Where the hell was I? Oh, that's right. Haunting Grounds, still £90, still holds its value. It's only going to go up this one. For some reason, in the last 2 years, it's become very popular. Considering 2 years ago, you were paying maybe 50 or 60 quid for this, £90 for this now. So people are caught on. Being as a Capcom game too, and it's reasonably well played. And I literally put it top 10 horror games. So to be honest, it is a good game, and I highly recommend it. Of course, next now, another new game on the list, 10,000 Bullets. You're paying £90 or £100, it just fluctuates 10 every so often. It's £90 at the moment. I am going to play this very soon because I've been looking for this for months and I am very intrigued. I hope it doesn't suck. I hope it doesn't suck. But it's a Taito game, so you never know. So once again, £90 for that game. Not very common at all. One of the more common rare games, it does sound like a misnomer, but the Silent Hill games are expensive. Silent Hill Origins, this is the game I named as my favourite Silent Hill Silent Hill horror game, to which I got a lot of shit for. To be honest, I understand people's feeling about that, because Silent Hill 2 is awesome too, but I just like Silent Hill Origin a lot, I really do. We all got our differences. Up next is Blood War Tale. Once again, another game I picked up in that bundle very recently. Need to try this. It does actually look quite intriguing. Made by Sega, so it's going to be made reasonably well. So I'm going to try that. This fluctuates between £90 and £85. It's £85 now. It's not going to go down massively, I don't think. So I think you're going to be paying a minimum £80 anywhere you go. You might get lucky on eBay, but I doubt it these days, to be honest. From a game I just bought to a game I got given free. Secret Agent Clank. Yes, it is the German version, but it's PAL, it plays in English, so I'm keeping it. £75 you'll be paying for this. For those who don't know, this was basically made as a PSP game, focused as a PSP game, but they made some like PS2 versions. So it's not the most common of games. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to play it or not. I'm not the biggest Ratchet and Clank fan. It's a good franchise, but you know what, I will give it a try. I will say I did load it up, and the graphics, I'm not a graphics person, but the graphics did look a bit rough. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just my HDMI converter's not working properly, but they did look a bit, like, rough. Anyway, move on from that. I could put it in a bloody rack. Next, Soul Nomad and the Wild Enders. £75 game. Very good game. I recommend it to anyone. This is creeping up quite rapidly. When I bought this, I paid 40 quid for it away. When I bought this, it was about worth like 60 quid at CX. Now you're going to be paying 75. It's one of those games which is just going up, and up. So I would recommend getting this sooner rather than later, because knowing the way the market is these days, this probably could hit £100 next year at some point. I say probably. Couldn't guarantee it's going to do that, but like Haunting Grounds, it just keeps increasing at a not alarmingly fast rate, but every time it's like, let's just put a 5 on that game. You know what I mean? It's like one of those games where, like the GTA Trilogy Pack, which obviously is free, Vice City and San Andreas, that is £65, that Trilogy Pack. Bearing in mind that games by themselves singly will cost you about £15 all combined, and they want you to pay £65 for a Trilogy Pack. I'm going to have to do that at some point, and I'm going to hate them for it, but when I do find it, it's going to be disgusting. Bear in mind the double pack's only worth like a tenner. Why the hell is the triple pack worth £65? It infuriates me to the edge. It really does. Actually, anyone wants to put a comment out, tell me the reason why it's worth £65 compared to the rest of them. I would like to know, because there's no justifiable reason why that is worth so much. Because it's just the same 3 games. Anyway, moving on. Project Zero 2, £65 worth. You're paying £65. I paid £60 obviously about 2 months ago, so it's just going to fluctuate. It's one of those games where it's going to stay roughly that price. I do need to get the third one. The third one's like £90. It's one of those games where I need to pick up sooner rather than later. Generally speaking, there's certain games where you know what they're going to be, and there's certain games where you're going to guess what they're going to do. In price, that is. That sounds like a misnomer, it's not. It really isn't. That's just the way it is. Pretty much so. So anyway, next, the 4th chapter of Hack, £65. When I bought this in February from Doncaster, all 4 games were worth a lot more. They've all come down, not significantly, but quite a lot since then. So a bundle which I paid £180 for all 4 games, you could probably get them all for like 140, 150 these days. £65 for that. So it's one of those things. I don't regret buying them at that price. I bought them. I got them all one day. You try getting all 4 Hack games in one day. It's hard work. A game that's just literally falling through the floor right now is the original Persona 3. This is now only worth 62 quid. To put it in context, this has been as high as 90 quid this year. Now it's 62. So this is just falling through the floor. Very good game. Very long game. I bought this out of the eBay bundle like 2 years ago, where I got a lot of rare games. At that point, this was like 80 quid at that point. That was like a year ago. Then it went up to 90, and then it fell for the floor, and it's still falling for the floor. So Persona 3, if I was going to recommend buying it, I would buy it now. Get it now, because it's probably... I don't know how far it's going to fall, but it's fallen. It's fallen. So there are obviously games where it's better to wait, and that's one of those games where it's just better to wait. £62 now compared to £90 earlier, like last year, this year. Very good. Very, very good. Next, Manhunt 2, you are still going to be paying £58 for this, so £3 more than I paid. So it's one of those games where it's just going to stay at that same price, nothing special. Note, I did get a little bit of okay, so when I did the horror top 10, I didn't include the Manhunt games because I didn't really. They're horrific, but how can I put this? And they're actually supposed to be stealth games, not like horror games. I know, that's why I didn't include them. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not a massive fan of them. I don't know, there's certain games I like and certain games I don't like. And I don't like either of them, or either of them even. So, yeah. So, that's the only reason I didn't put them on. So, don't hate me. Do not hate me. I have an opinion. Don't we all? Don't we bloody all? Next game, Shadow Hearts, the original, £55. It is literally going to stay between 60 and 50 for the rest of the time. Good franchise as always. Every time I see Shadow Hearts, I think of Ember Games. One of my favourite franchises. Hello, Ember, by the way. Check out Ember's channel, by the way. She's genuinely nice person. One of the first subscribers on this channel, by the way. So one of the really early ones. So I appreciate that, Ember. And I believe she watched every episode. So if you're watching this one, hey. Oh God. Sometimes I'm very, not so much childlike, but very chill. Wild Arms 4, £55. As you know, I got a second copy of that in the bundle, which I still got hold of, but I don't know how much longer because I'm getting interest. Still £55. Probably going to stay the same. Very, I ain't tried it yet, but the Wild Arms 1 and 2 were very good. And I love the original Wild Arms opening theme. The very chill, like, banjo/guitar. Very, very chill. I might splice like 5 seconds of it before I get like copyrighted, but we shall see. It won't be the last time Wild Arms mentioned that was in the episode. You might understand why in a second. Next, Hack Part 3 Outbreak, £55. Once again, Hack franchise, very good, very different, very unique. Do I recommend it? If you like RPGs, yes. If you're not a massive fan of RPGs, it's a very like. Would I say niche? You could say niche. You could very much say niche. I don't know. Neo Contra, one of the games I got in the last bundle, £55. Never played this, so I can't really give an opinion on this. But it looked good from what Dave found in the gameplay. It looked very good. So I don't know if it's going to increase and decrease. It's probably one of those games where it's just going to hold value. It's probably just going to hold value because collectors like us will pay it. Sadly. Also, slight note before going any further. Coraline, the film Coraline. It was a PS2 game. I don't know if it's Halloween just passed, but that has gone like to £52 out of nowhere. It was like £38, so that might be a Halloween thing. So for Coraline, for anyone trying to find that game, I would wait 2 months and see if it comes down because yeah, I think that for the Halloween that it's trying to hike. Very good film, by the way. Dan's significant other loves that film. Add one for the Dan Mia.
Dan! Dan!
Silent Hill 2, always going to range between 40 and 50 quid. This is not the director's cut, this is the basic one. The director's cut is the platinum version, but I don't want to put a platinum in this rack, so we'll just use this for now. Generally speaking, Silent Hill 2, it's one of the best. It is one of the best Silent Hills, if the best Silent Hill. Most people tend to agree with. So, for those of you like that kind of thing. That was such a generic thing to say, I hate myself. We're now getting to the games where I haven't really fluctuated, but it's still there. Resident Evil Survivor 2, £50. This is, I think that's about 55, so it's come down a little. You're always going to be paying at least £50 for that game. Obviously, I got that from the retro shop in North Welsham. Very good find. Armored Core 3, at one point this was £65, now it's £50. So if you're going to buy this, buy it now. Because it's coming down very slowly. Like, it's gone down £15 in the last year. So, Armored Core is a very niche franchise, I find. Metal Slug Anthology, it's got it back up to 45 quid. This has gained a little bit of value. You're always going to be paying between 40 and 45, maybe even 50. So it's one of those games. Silent Hill 3 literally has stayed £42 for some time. It's just stagnated. You're always going to be paying £42 for that. Very good game, obviously. Silent Hill 4, also £42. The Silent Hill games, you're always going to be paying a minimum of £40. It's just the way it is. Harry Potter, £42. This was once £55, so that's about. So in the last 8 months, it's come down significantly. So once again, you need a Harry Potter Philosopher's Stone. Buy it now rather than later, because it might go back up. Castlevania, £42. Once again, it's going to stay the same price. Maybe £2 fluctuation. It's not going to make a massive difference. If you wait for that one, you just got to go for it. What you see is most of these games now are just going to be like stagnated. You know what I mean? Yakuza 2, 42 quid. That can sometimes go up and down, but it's pretty much stayed the same. A game that's come down quite a bit. Steamboat Chronicles. I think I paid £50 or £55 for this. 42 quid. So that's come down. Another good RPG. For those who are interested, I would buy that now rather than later. So I missed 2 games on it. I'll sort out later, but both DBZ, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and Infinity World, they're roughly between £50 and £55. So I'll sort out later, but they're going to stay that same also. There's some games that are going to stay the same. Whatever you do, whatever you buy them, you know what I mean? A game that has come up and down in price and back to where it belongs, Clock Tower, 40 quid. Clock Tower 3. I think at one point it was like 30 quid. So for those of you, I hope those people did buy it when it was like £30 because it's now going back the other way. Another game which I always recommend you get sooner rather than later, Ultimate Spider-Man Special Edition. That's the purple version with Venom. That is just going up and up and up. You're now going to pay £40 for that minimum. You were paying like £25 like 3 or 4 months ago. So if you're going to find it, buy it now because that is just going for the roof. Plus, it is sexy purple. Purple's my favourite colour, and that's one of the top 10 games I want to find. By the way, slight spoiler. Persona 4, £40 with a disc, a CD. It's always going to be that price. It might come up, might come down. Fluctuation once again. You know what I mean. One of the best fighting games of all time, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Once again, about £40, 38 quid. It's always going to stay that way. If you love the fighting genre and never played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, what the hell is wrong with you? Amazing fighting game. Gradius 3 and 4 from the bundle that's bought. £38 did you pay for this? As I mentioned, the Gradius game soundtracks are amazing. They really are. I would recommend the soundtrack to anyone. Even to the Regeneration, still £35. It's going to stay there. You're not going to get it 80 with £35. I could be wrong, to be honest. I could be so wrong saying that, but you never know. It could stay that way. Once again, Contra Shadow Shoulder, 35 quid. It's one of those games where it's never going to change price. You just got to pay it. I'm not particularly happy paying £35 for that game. I don't see why it's so expensive. It could be the best game of all time, but it's just I look at it and go, There's a lot of games like that these days. I just look at it and just go, what? Because I've got to put the DBC games in there. There's 4 more spaces left in the rack. Still expensive. Def Jam Fight for New York, £32. This slowly keeps going up like £2 or £3 each time. £32 for that game. Can I believe I'm saying an EA Sports game is that expensive? It's weird. It is weird. Project Zero, the original Project Zero, £32. It's one of those games which is just going to keep fluctuating like £3 or £4. It's never going to like skyrocket unless it gets like a cult following. So I'm happy to have it, but it's not one of those games I'm literally going to seek and find. You know what I mean? Last 2 games to go on the rack for now: Shadow Hearts Covenant, £32. It used to be £50. It came down shockingly. So once again, while it's still this low, buy it. And this isn't the special edition, but it says it is. It's just got the normal game. Shin Megami Tensei 2, Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga. My brain just literally stopped for 5 seconds there, my god. So, yeah, we'll put those there because I've still got to put the Dragon Ball Z games in there, but... So the rack has changed quite differently. To put it in context, obviously 7 new expensive games, so the following games no longer are good enough for the rack. Parappa the Rapper, I think that's come down in value. I think I paid £40 for that, and that's like £32 now, sad. World Hero Anthology, you pay about £30 for that. I paid, when I got this, it was like 50 quid. I think it's like gone through the absolute floor since like the new release. Fire Pro Wrestling, I think you can get it for like 30 quid now. That's one of those games where you buy it now because it's just going to go for the floor. One Piece Grand Adventure, it's going to fluctuate between 30 and 40. I think it's like 30 now, so once again, probably buy that now. King of Fighters 2 Maximum Impact, good fighting game, but once again, it's not holding that strongly. Demolition Girl, I literally bought that because it was cheaper. That used to be £50, I got it for 32 quid. It's still like going down and down. And the Volume 2 Hack, you're going to be paying between 25 and 30 quid for that now. So I've now got to put these back in the actual normal racking because they're not that expensive anymore. Just that's the way it is. So anyway, so basically, Fluctuations haven't been that horrifically bad this month. They really haven't. A lot of small like differences. Some got discounted hard, but a lot of games are. There's a few games like going through the roof still. But what I've noticed in the last 2 or 3 months is like TMNT games. They hold value, or they just keep going for the roof. There's one game that's like 90 quid. TMNT, Armored Core lines, all the Armored Core games I don't own, they're worth at least 60 quid now. So Armored Core is still very popular. Just not the ones I own. Shit. But I am still genuinely baffled why the GTA Triple Pack £65. It is mega insulting. It really is. Same with the Harry Potter pack. To be honest, the Harry Potter like collection, £60. I think that's Chamber of Secrets, Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, and those 3 games combined you might pay £20 for. So these collections are the ones I'm going to hate to find because I'm going to have to find them and they're going to cost me a lot of money. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Right. So we're just going to finish off with the 10 games I'm looking for the most at the moment. Number 1 will be Wild Arms 5. Now we've got 3 and 4. Wild Arms 5 is what I'm probably looking for most. You're going to pay at least £90 for that, but I'm going to be searching for that quite intensely, if you will. Tengai, which is like a £58 game. That's a game I've been waiting to look for, but apparently I've been told this, and I think Norwich got like a lot of copies of that in one go, and I keep just forgetting to buy it. The amount of people are like, you missed that game there. You can't understand. My memory's awful. If I forget things, I literally forget them for the. You know what I mean? It's just like out the head, out the mind. By the way, these top 10 games I want are in no particular order. These games I need. Despicable Me. That might sound stupid, but that was like a £40 game. That's now like worth like 25. That's come off a cliff. So I want to find that sooner rather than later because I don't want to pay more than £25 for that game. That is taking the piss. And this might sound really stupid. Guitar Hero 5. It was quite a popular game, but by the end, it was near the end of PS2 life, and obviously they didn't release that many copies of them. That's not that much of a cheap game. It was like a £20 game, and I've never seen a copy of it yet. So that's another game I really want to find sooner rather than later, because all these sort of obscure, like generic games, they're getting harder and harder to find. If you know what I mean. It's like people ask, why do you get the 2 Mega Man games for like CX Tuesday? It's because it's like they were hard to find. I didn't have them. Simple as that. That's why I got them both in one go. Castle, I can't pronounce this. Castle Shikigami. Castle Shikigami. Good lord. I'm keeping this in. Castle Shikigami 2. We'll go with that one. £22 game. I've never seen that. I don't want this game, but I really need to find this game. Fitness Fun. Yeah, a game about fitness. £22.
Well, go ahead. Do your worst.
My worst, eh? Smithers, release the robotic Richard Simmons.
Come on, big boy. Shake the butter off those buns. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Come on, girl. Shake, shake, shake.
Smithers, it's out of control.
Take him out, sir.
Shake, shake, shake.
His ass is gonna blow!
Just gonna let that sink in. It's just, I don't want it, but I want to find it sooner rather than later. It's one of those games like Knights of the Temple 2, another game like £22 I want to find. Because now we're finding a lot of the rarer games, so like the mid-section games are getting like into the background, you know what I mean? Because you understand what I mean? So these are the games I'm probably going to like CX Tuesday sooner rather than later. Yeah. Oh yeah, a game I really want is the Need for Speed Most Wanted Black Edition. That's like £20. It's not that much different from the original edition. You get more cars, but it is not that common to find. I think Last Level games do have it, but every time I've gone there, I've had to prioritise other games over it because I don't think it's going to be that horrifically hard to find. You know what I mean? It's one of those games where it's like, you know you can find it sooner rather than later, but you still haven't got it. You know, it's one of those bloody games. I'm going to have to check this, but I don't think I've got this. Red Ninja. I think I ain't got that. I could be wrong, but that's another game I really want. But then there's like the really obscure, like expensive games I really want, obviously. What I found is the expensive games fall under one of three categories. 1, horror. 2, Japanese feel, where it's like samurai, or like 3, mythical, where it's like vampires or zombies, that kind of thing. Most of the games fall under those three categories. Another game I really want to find, Firefighter FD18. A game about firefighting. I'm actually kind of intrigued by that. Obviously all the Pro Evolution Soccers, like the 2012, 2013, 2014 versions, incredibly rare. I've literally not seen one copy of them yet. I don't really want to buy them, but I've got to. Some of the Guilty Gear games I need to get. I actually want them, so... You know what I mean? But a lot of these games are not expensive. Like Fire Heroes, not expensive again. Need to get that game. So I'm going to try like get the midsection. You know, that's about 10 or more games I think I need to get. There are more, but they're the ones that come off the top of my head. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the episode of. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. We got a massive. I want to say thank you for everyone who watched the last episode, the collection episode. That we got a good response for that one. A lot of new viewers, a lot of new subscribers. I thank you for that. Thanks Dan once again for thanks Dan and Lucy for that, because they both of them tagged me on that one, and I did so well at that bundle. You have no idea. Still got all the games. I don't know what to do with those games now. Anyway, CX Roulette will be back in December. So as of today, it's like 25th today. So as of next week, you should be getting your first CX Roulette again. So yay! I've got my finances after this is back to normality pretty much. So yeah, so you'll be getting 2 episodes a week again from December. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Have a good day, guys. Oh, please give your opinions on the price variations of PS2. I am genuinely curious what other people think. It could just be me, but some of these fluctuations aren't warranted. On that note, I'll say goodbye. See you later, guys. Bye.